so today we'll be doing 3/8 solving quadratics by factoring. And there's going to be 3 different problems that we're going to be doing, 3 different types. There's going to be the easy one, which don't think that just because it's easy, it's going to be a quick slide. It's not too easy, you know? There's no such thing as easy in math unless it's like 2 + 2 = 4, you know? So the easy one, it's kind of a tricky one. It's like just something that people assume, you know? And then medium, classic, nothing hard about it. I guess I should have made that easy then, huh? But it's okay. You will get it fine. And the hard one, now the thing about the hard one is that it's not hard at all. It's not hard at all, I can promise you. It's just that people assume when they look at it straight away, like, oh, I'm done. I don't have to do anything with it. And they probably will choose the answer that's already done, all right? So you don't want to do that. So we're just going to start off as easy, okay? And so this one, people commonly think that you can just divide it out. You cannot divide x in this equation, because if you do, you're going to lose your solutions, and you don't want to do that. And before I even get into that, let me put some background information. Alright, so don't look up here, look just right here, alright? So you see a squared plus bx plus c equals 0. This is your standard equation when it comes to factoring and such, alright? Always remember that a will have the squared, b will have the x, and c is your constant. C for constant, you know? Alright, so we're going to start out, and by the way, you'll hear alright a lot in this. I say it a lot. Okay, so we're going to take out the x. So in order to take out the x, you're going to need to get rid of the squared and get rid of the x here. Take out the x. So what we're going to do is we're going to take x and put it on the outside, and then you're left with 1, right? If that makes sense. You're left with 1 because you took out the x from here and you took out 1 x from here. So that's going to go on the outside. Then you have x minus 5 equals 0. Alright, so that's what you're left with because you took 1 x out of here. And so then what you want to do is you realize that you actually do have some solutions right here, you know, the 2 you need. So you have x equals 0, and then you have x minus 5 equals 0. Now, it may seem like, oh, I'm done, but you're not. What's one thing you're missing? You have to isolate x. So what you're going to do is you're going to do x, and you're going to add plus 5 to both sides because you're isolating the x. And then you have x equals 5. And so those are your solutions. Alright, very bad box, but you get the gist. Alright, so then there's that. Because you see, you took out the 5, what's the word? Not isolated, what is the word? Canceled out. I was going to say thank you, but that's me. You took out the 5, so you add 5 to both sides, and there's your answer. So there's that. That's the easy one. It's not too bad, and I'm sorry if I talk a little fast, but it's not too bad, I promise. So we're going to do medium. Alright, medium is your classic one. I'm going to just go. Sorry. Alright. So, side note, this is my song. Really good. The Weeknd's on fleek. Okay, sorry. Alrighty. So, here for your medium, you have x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0, right? Alright, so this is your standard, just like I said, because this is your A, this is your B, and this is your C. And how you always know that, like I said before, and I'm probably going to say a couple times, your A will always have squared, your B will always have x, and then your C will always just be C with nothing because it's a constant. So always remember C constant, you know, it's going to be at the end. Alright, so first things first is there's something here that I don't think people notice. How do you factor it out? Well, first of all, we can take out the x's for one thing. So we'll start with that first, alright? And so then there's that, and we start the parentheses. But the thing, oh, you know what, I did that wrong. But the thing about it, sorry, I can't do that yet. Thing about this is that notice how it looks kind of complicated here, like 5 and 6. What the heck? What is that? Well, to get 5 and 6 out, you have to find 2 numbers that add to your B and multiply to get your C. So the that honestly is probably the hardest part of this whole thing, because you think it's one thing and then you have to check to make sure it matches with the other one. So like for this one, let's say you want to do 6 and -1, right? You can't do that. And people are like, well, why can't I do that, you know? Like, it works the first one. Exactly. It's just the first one. It's not the second one, you know? So, we'll have 6 and -1. This is example. I'm not saying this is right, so don't copy this down unless you're using it as, like, an example of why it's wrong. So, you have 6, and then you have -1. All right. So sorry about the crooked one, but... Okay, so if you look right here, you'll see that it says 6 and -1 equals 5. If you add them, yes, it is right because that does equal 5 because you're taking 1 away from 6. However, if you try and multiply 6 and -1, you'll get a -6, not a +6. And if you look up here, it's a +6. So that's for that. That way, it can't work. Let's take this out of there. And same thing with like 4 plus 1, it's not going to give you this. So if you think about it, what's two numbers that add to 5 and give you 6? 2 and 3. So what you're going to do is you're going to do 2 and then you're going to do 3. And then you're going to do 2 and 3 because 2 plus 3 equals 5. And then 2, 4, 6, 3, 6, you know, it gives you 6. So there's your answer. So you're going to have x plus 2. Then you're going to have x plus 3. And you're going to set that equal to 0. Oh, another side note. Always drag down your 0. Not just your 0, but the answer on the end after the equal sign. Always drag it down, okay? So there's that. And so then you have this. And now, mind you, you're supposed to separate this afterwards, right? So then you have x equals x plus 2 equals 0. And then you have x plus 3 equals 0. And let me put a little slash thing so you know it's different, alright? Do you want me to erase this? I'll erase this for you. Actually, no, I feel like someone's going to be like, no, don't erase it, so I won't erase it. Okay, so, right here, you're going to have, you have to isolate the x, right? So you're going to subtract 2 from both sides on this one. Alright, and so you'll have, let me put this down here, x equals -2 for your 1 thing. And then same thing with the 3. You're going to, x plus 3, x plus 3. What kind of 3 is that? It's like hanging. Okay, so then there's x plus 3. So you have x equals, oops, not x plus 3. Oh, did anyone stop me? It's 3x minus 3. Alright, there you are. X minus 2 and x minus 3. You see? So, therefore, you have all of them. Everything you need is all right there. Let me change this again. It doesn't change. Okay. So there's that for you. And then, lastly, we're gonna, do you want me to go over it again? I think I'll go over it again just to be sure, alright? So, you start off with your a squared plus bx plus c, which equals 0. That's going to be x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0. Then you have to factor it out. In order to do that, you have to do two numbers that add to your b. Sorry, let's say your 5 and then your answer. But your two numbers that add to b, and then two numbers that multiply to give you c. Alright? And that, remember, always, oh gosh, I can't stress it enough. Sorry, I have to put this down to get serious. I cannot stress enough about how serious it is that you make sure that it matches with both. Please make sure it matches with both, because if it doesn't, you just messed up your whole problem. And you, trust me, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that at all. And I will be honest, there's a way to do it on the calculator, but I cannot remember right now, so I apologize. I'm pretty sure if you click on any of the video, you'll probably find it, but there, this is me. Alright, so there is this. And so there's your answers. So then you get 2 and 3 because they add to 5, multiply for 6. And so then you put them up here, and you get x plus 2 and x plus 3 equals 0. And so then you have to separate them down, and you have x plus 2 equals 0 and x plus 3 equals 0. Now you have to isolate the x afterwards. So it's going to be x minus 2, x minus 2, and then 0 minus 2, x minus 3, and 0 minus 3. And you get x minus negative, or x equals -2 and x equals -3. Alright? And that was your answer. Those are your solutions for the medium one. Now, for the hard one, okay, the hard one, this is my favorite personally. Not just because, like, it's, like, what the heck, but it's really interesting if you really look into it. Alright. So it's 2. Alright, so can someone tell me, like you're what's wrong with this problem? It looks like it's factored, right? But if you look, it's not going to work. Trust me, it's just not. It looks like it's factored, but it's not. It's a trick question. So then what we'll do is you do x squared. Well, you have to, distribute it. So we're going to do that. So you get x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 12. Now, do you remember how we got that? Because we did the two numbers that add to your b and give you c. And if you look, it's kind of like the last problem, just a different 12 is the ending one, all right? So now after that, we got to start all over with the thing. And so you do this. What's really crazy? Oh, I did this wrong. Not plus 6. Sorry. It's minus 6. This is why I have this notebook here to make sure I did it right. Alright. So, what plus what equals what? It's so funny because we just did this with the last one. That didn't work with the last one. But it works with this one, alright? So, we're going to do, what was it? 6 and negative 1. That'll give you 5. And then 6 and negative 1 will give you negative 6. So, there's your numbers that work here. Alright? And so then you're going to do x minus 6, and then x minus 1. Hold on. Okay, I don't know what I did there, but anyway, that does it somehow. But anyway, so there is this. And then, so after that, you have to do the normal. I'm going to write it down here, alright? Equals 0, x minus 1 equals 0. So what we're going to do is plus 6, and then you're going to do plus 1, plus 1. I will honestly admit I did something wrong for the hard one. I am sorry. Alright, so x equals 6 and x equals 1. It's going to be so awkward because it's going up in YouTube. But I did mess something up in here somewhere. I'll probably try and figure it out, see what I did wrong. I'll probably put it somewhere in this area. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope I helped you. I know I talk really fast, and I'm so sorry about that. But there's probably so many more people who can help you out with this. But thank you for watching mine, just in case you did. Alright?